Have you ever wondered, what do people do to start up a cleaning business? Well, in this video, I'm going to share my story and the way that I started my cleaning business. And maybe it'll help you find out where you are in life and how it could relate to you, and also give you ideas of ways that you would want to start and if it would actually be something that you would be interested in doing for yourself. I'm Moragne-Morris, and in this video coming up, I'm going to tell you all about me, my journey with cleaning, and where I am today. So stay tuned. Okay, my cleaning journey actually started when I was a young kid. My dad worked for a cleaning company, and we would go with him on the weekends to clean, because back when I was growing up in the 70s, you helped your parents at work. You didn't get to stay home on video games. You actually went with your parents and worked with them, and you would kind of learn a skill and learn a trade. Now, obviously, this was not the direction my dad thought my life was going to go, because he worked really hard and pushed college. So it was college, college, college for me. So that was always a given that I would go to college and do something else. My mom also was a stay-at-home mom, but on the side, she would clean houses to help get a little bit of extra money. So my mom did seasonal turnovers in our beach town that's close to us. And then she also had, I think maybe like 3 to 4 clients that she would clean for on the side. So that's kind of my childhood upbringing, has been in cleaning. As a young kid, I realize now, looking back, I was obsessed with cleaning. Like, I would clean my parents' house all the time. I would go to my friend's house on a play date, and if their bedroom was messy, I was cleaning it. They would be like, "Why are you cleaning my room?" And I'm like, "'Cause your room's dirty, duh." I would straighten it up. I would even dust. I would vacuum. I mean, their parents thought I was crazy, and they were so happy to have me over. But I didn't realize until I was older that I've always kind of had this passion for cleaning. But cleaning generally has a negative connotation with it. Cleaning is something we think is for people that can't find any other job, right? It's something that we look at as a low wage earning job, or it's something that you do just to get by. So like I said, when I started cleaning, I was younger, but I was doing it to make extra cash to pay for college. It was a way that I was going to work really hard, save, and give myself a better life by getting my degree. So I'm in college and I'm playing Division III basketball, which is very, very demanding, but I needed a job. And mostly everyone was nannying and babysitting, and I could not stand kids. It's not that I couldn't stand kids. I was the oldest of 3 boys, so I was sick of kids. I watched my brothers all the time. I wasn't forced to stay home and not do fun things to watch my brothers. I just helped my mom watch my brothers because they lived with me. So I knew I did not want to watch anyone else's kids. And waitressing, the thought of waitressing, all I remembered as a kid was we were out to eat one time, and this poor waitress dropped everyone's food on the table, and I remember her running off crying. So that's my perception of waitressing. So I knew I was not going to waitress. And I also knew I sure as heck was not going to go clock in and out for someone making minimum wage was like $5.25 an hour. So cleaning to me was the smartest, quickest, easiest thing to do, and I knew how to do it. So I started working for a cleaning company out in the area. I actually went to college in a very wealthy town, so there was a lot of cleaning services. So I started cleaning for them. I actually, now that I think back on it, I didn't do a really great job, but no one trained me. I told them I had cleaning experience, I worked for a cleaning company, I had a good reference, and then they gave me a list of houses to clean, and then they would send me off to clean. But anyway, so I did that, and then I realized I'm just gonna do this for myself. So senior year, our college ran out of online housing, so we had to go off campus to get an apartment, and my parents were like, "We can't afford an apartment for you." And I'm like, "Don't worry, I got it." So my dad signs this lease for me, and oh crap, the panic set in. I need to pay rent. I need gas money to get back and forth to school. I need food money because we didn't have a meal plan. The meal plans they were a fortune. So I was like, "Okay, girl, you got this. You've got to go get a job." But mind you, I had Division III basketball and I was a double major. So I couldn't just get any job. I had to make money on my free time. So I went out hard. I put a bunch of flyers around, lots, like hundreds. But within a week, I had 7 customers. Okay, 7 customers is a lot of money. I was making so much money in college that I just couldn't even believe it. I had never made that much money in my life. And I was able to pay my rent, I paid my cable, I paid electric, I paid all my gas and my food, and I still had money to go shopping all the time. I hadn't been shopping in ages because, when you're in college, you're broke. So I did that for a year. Then when I graduated college, I still didn't have like the job that I wanted, so I just kept doing it. Kept paying all my bills, it was fine. Well then, you go to school for a reason, you get your degree, you need to use it. So I had applied for an internship at our local sports arena, which is, I live in New Jersey, but Philadelphia is 10 minutes from us. So our teams were the Philadelphia team. So the Sixers and the Flyers is the building that I applied for, and I actually got the job. It was a dream job of mine. I mean, I'm obsessed with sports. I've always been obsessed with sports. So working at the sports arena was just perfect. The only problem was I had to give up my cleaning jobs. So I was able to hold on to one. I held on to that one because it was the extra cash that I need. But eventually they were like, you got to give that up and come work here. So I worked there for about 2 to 3 years. They work you really, really hard. You work really long hours and you make diddly squat. I kind of got tired of that. So I moved on and did another business. I worked at another franchise, and that didn't work out either. So here I am at like 27, 2 degrees, 2 careers that kind of, to me, it was a failure. And I was like, what am I gonna do? And it was like, God spoke to me and said, start a cleaning business again. And I'm like, I don't wanna start a cleaning business. I didn't go to college to start a cleaning business. So I decided to start interviewing for, more respectable jobs. Plus I had a bunch of like nice suits from my old job. I wasn't trying to just have my closet have dusty suits. So I started interviewing for pharmaceutical companies, and I actually came like so close to getting pharmaceutical jobs. And the one job that I knew I would have gotten, it was my answers that kept me from getting it, because I think they could sense that it's not what I wanted to do. But I wanted a job that paid well, made good money, and that I could use my degree for. So needless to say, I didn't get that job. So here I am back again. Like, I've never been unemployed in my life. I've had a job since I was 14 years old, and I'm unemployed at 26, 27. It was very, very depressing. And then I heard God again, start a cleaning business. For this time, for some reason, it resonated with me. And I actually got excited about it. And I was like, okay. And then God said, you and your family need it. Okay, done. So I was so excited. I started coming up with my plan of what I was going to do. I moved back home so that I could, save money and take my time. I mean, it's one thing to split rent with someone and have enough money for that. It's another thing to be like in your late 20s and need to live on your own and start a new business. So I moved back home just to make sure that I would have enough money. And I was so excited because I heard God say, and your family needs it too. So I started asking my family, hey, you guys want to get in this cleaning business with me? And they were like, are you insane? No. Mind you, my dad still was in the cleaning industry, and he actually tried to talk me out of it. No shade to him. He was just doing what any smart parent would do. He said, it's a really tough industry. It's a male-dominated industry. It's hard to find staff, and you always have to wait for your clients to pay you. He wasn't wrong about that. However, I knew I'd heard from God, and I knew that I was excited about it, so I did it anyway. So I went and registered my company, Squeaky Clean, in 2004. Now, I did get some accounts. I went to a certain area and blitzed the market, but I wasn't as proactive and gung-ho about it as I was when I was in college. You see, my back was up against the wall in college, so there was no thinking process, no thought process. It was just, you need this money or you're not going to be able to not only graduate college, you're not going to have a place to live. Now that I was back home at my parents', I kind of took it a little bit slower. I realized I could have definitely grew much faster than I did. But in a few years, I was able to save up enough to get my own place. I bought a condo. I was able to get a new car and move out. And then I was actually able to travel to Europe. So I started doing well. I went along this trajectory for quite some time. So I was at this point taking whatever work I could get. Like if you needed me to do anything but almost clean your cat, I was going to clean it for you. So I was taking organization jobs. I was doing cleanup for dinner parties, which actually I enjoy that, and I still would do it now if I didn't have kids and other responsibilities. I learned how to host a proper dinner party because these people had money and they would host business clients in their homes with a dinner party. And it actually taught me a lot. Anything that you can learn while you're in other people's homes, take it all in and absorb it all. So I was doing cleanup from dinner parties. I was doing turnover cleaning, changeover, and this was before Airbnb. So Airbnb might be new to some of y'all, but people have been renting out their homes in beach towns for centuries. So I was doing a lot of that. I was doing move out cleans. I was doing cleaning for realtors. So I was doing that for a good 10 years. I was exhausted. Like I was working 7 days a week. I would look at my friends that like had manicured nails and I would be like, oh, I haven't had a manicure in so long. How do you have time to go get a manicure? And mind you, most of my friends have their own business, but I was working like a slave. So it wasn't until I got married and got pregnant with my first child that I was forced to actually stop working. But I didn't have a plan to stop working. My plan didn't include like not working, because how am I going to run my business if I'm not working? So by the time I was 8 months pregnant, my clients were like, when are you going to stop working? And I'm like, when the baby comes. I think they were getting nervous that I was actually going to deliver the baby in the house. So I was like, crap, I have to stop working. So then I panicked. I started scrambling. Now, mind you, I had a few people working with me at the time already. I had really, really, really good part-time staffers, but I didn't have enough staff to cover all the work I was doing because I was working 7 days a week. They were just working 2 to 3 days a week for me. But I was able to figure it out. I was able to delegate some work. Some people I was able to just have them hold off for 2 months till I came back. And then I came back. And what happened was, if any of you have seen my previous YouTubes, I talk about this, I actually didn't lose any business. I didn't lose any business. I didn't lose any clients. And I wasn't working in the business every day. That was a game changer for me. And it was very, very pivotal in me understanding that I did not need to work in my business 7 days a week for it to be successful. So I took the strategies that I put in place for me to go out on maternity leave, and then I just kept duplicating them, and I just kept duplicating them. And then in time, I was able to just add client after client after client. So I did have some rocky paths along the way. I had a client that just canceled me out of nowhere, and they tried to act like we were bad cleaners. It's actually the only client that I ever lost for bad cleaning. But then come to find out, they were declaring bankruptcy, and he was just trying to save face. But I just slowly kept adding clients. So I would go out and canvass the market. I would pass flyers around, kind of wasn't getting me business. Mind you, this is for commercial. I wanted to start pivoting to office cleaning. So I had houses, and I wanted to start adding offices. Well, so then I decided to start going for the big guns, right? So I was going in and giving quotes for UPS. I was trying to get the big Walmart accounts, but those they didn't feel right to me. I was overwhelmed. Like when I would go look at these large buildings, I would just get very overwhelmed because they required like floor cleaning, scrubbing and waxing. And those were things that my father did, but I just wasn't well versed in that. So those just kind of gave me anxiety. And I was losing the bids because I was charging too much, and I just wasn't prepared. So my first actually large account came as a subcontractor. I was subcontracted out for a bunch of banks. So that was my first big commercial contract. Now, mind you, in the background, I had little small offices that were reaching out to me for cleaning. So I would do, most of my offices were like once a week. They would take like 2 hours, 2.5, or they would be once a month, or they would be every other week. So those were starting to trickle in slowly, okay? And then I'm still trying to get the large clients at the same time. Wasn't getting the large clients at the same time, but the little small people just kept trickling in. Okay, so I get this large account. I'm subcontracted, and what a lot of you, if you don't know, if you've never worked in the commercial cleaning business, is that these large accounts, let's say it's a bank, they will hire one big cleaning company that's national. But the company's not national. It's kind of deceiving. The national company will then hire out local companies in each state. That local company, because one cleaning company can't cover an entire state, they start hiring out another company under them. And then that company, because they can't really cover 5 counties, will hire out 5 different cleaning services in those counties. So what happens is the person gets paid up top, all that money trickles down, you're down to like the 5th person, there's barely any money left for you. So you're having to hire people out at the time minimum wage was like $9 an hour. I would have to pay a worker $10 for the whole job, which the jobs usually took an hour and a half. So what happened was I just started cleaning them all myself because there wasn't enough money. Well, I lost all of those. Like we all did. It wasn't just me. Everybody lost all of those because it's just a really terrible business model. So I realized through that experience that I was not going to be a subcontractor for anyone again. I needed to be in control. I needed to have all the keys so that I could go in and check after my staff. So it just wasn't a model that worked for me. So after we lost that job, I decided I'm not doing the big companies. I'm not doing the subcontracted companies. So I just started trying to market myself again. And what I realized was there's a big market for small business owners. There's a lot of small companies that don't want to hire these big commercial companies because they know the big commercial cleaning companies, they just don't clean as well. So that actually became my niche. And till this day, it's still my niche. I only clean for small business owned, and they're not small buildings. Like I have several buildings that are over 20,000 square feet that we clean, but I clean for a small business. When I say small business, I mean a business that has not multi-million-dollar properties. I clean for commercial developers. So I clean for one commercial owner. He owns 9 properties. So I clean all of his properties. I also then clean for a doctor, an eye doctor. He owns 3 buildings, 3 eye doctors. So that's how I started adding to my portfolio. And it's kind of where I am today. We have stopped house cleaning. We only clean for the people that we still were cleaning for like 15 years ago. Y'all, I have clients that we've had for like 19, 18 years. We're still cleaning for them. So if we cleaned your house back in the day, we're still cleaning for you. I didn't drop them. I just don't take on new house cleaning work. We also do shore cleaning, which is the seasonal cleaning. I used to do changeovers for that. Once COVID hit, I kind of stopped the changeovers, and it was like the first time in my life I had Saturdays off in the summertime. What a game changer that was. So I decided to just clean for owners who lived down in these shore towns and did not rent their place out. Because when you're cleaning for people that rent your place out, you have to be on call for them all the time, especially Airbnbs. But at this point in my life, I'm married, I have 5 kids, 2 are older, but 3 are still home. And I just have to have a regimented schedule. I have to know when I'm going to be cleaning. I can't just run and go clean because you scheduled someone last minute. So changeovers is just something I don't do anymore, but I did it for 18 years. So I just clean for owners that own their vacation home and they stay in the vacation home, and then I can clean during the week. So that's where I am today. I have niched down a lot. And what happens as a result of niching down is that you're able to focus more on serving a specific customer. And then in time, all those small accounts that kept coming in, I still have them. When you start getting multiple small little offices, that starts to add up. Then you throw in another larger office, that starts to add up. So through my story, I hope you can learn that time and consistency is what pays off. You don't have to go after large accounts to feel like your business is worth something. I wish I had someone that helped me put a plan together much sooner to grow and scale so that I wasn't working 7 days a week. That's why I'm so excited to offer my coaching to other people so that I can show you the strategy and the formula much quicker so that you can start working 2 to 3 days a week, 2, 3, 4 days a week, and also start to scale your business to 6 figures. I'm able to offer advice and to help you avoid, a good 10 years of my cleaning business could have been avoided. I could have almost been where I am now in about 3 to 5 years. I just didn't know. I didn't have anyone helping me. I had my dad, who was a great mentor when it came to what to bid, what supplies I needed for certain things. He was able to help me give a realistic idea of how long places would take, but he wasn't able to help me on understanding how to hire, how to delegate, what formula to set into place, what model set in place, because he was a supervisor for a large company. That large company already gave him the model. When you're a small business owner, you also don't get training, really. Think about in corporate, when you go get a corporate job, even if it's like a retail job, you get training videos, you get workbooks, you get pamphlets. When you start cleaning for yourself and you start a cleaning company, there's no training. Your training is all trial and error. Well, with a coach and my coaching program, there won't be trial and error. There'll actually be a coach that is helping you, walking with you along the way to get you to your end goal faster. When you have someone that's been in the cleaning industry, so my business is 20 years old, but I've been cleaning since I was a teenager, and I've cleaned for other cleaning companies like I told you, and I've seen what they've done wrong. I also hear from so many clients about what frustrates them about their cleaning service, because most of the accounts that I go to give bids on, they all have cleaners. They're not new people looking for new cleaners. One of the first things I ask them is, what would you like to see improved when you hire a new cleaning staff? And they just go on and tell you about all the things that their cleaners do wrong. So I have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to being able to guide you. The benefit is also when you invest in a coach, you get there quicker. So you're saving yourself time and money. There's a saying that time is money. It's not true. Time is irreplaceable. You can't replace time. You can replace money. You cannot replace time. If a doctor tells you you have 2 months to live, are you thinking about money? No, you're thinking about that little bit of time that you have left to live. So with a coaching program such as mine and having a coach, you get back time that you can't replace. You can't replace the time once it's lost. But what you can do is budget your time better, allocate your time better so that you're able to get where you need to go faster. So if you go to the links below, you will see this link here, and you're going to click on that and it will take you to my homepage. There will be a button where you can click for a free 15-minute consultation. And in that call, we can talk about your cleaning company, where you would like to go, the goals that you have, and we could actually see if it would be a fit for you to have coaching. But I offer that as a way to make sure that it's something that would be a fit and to make sure that it's something that you actually do want to do, that you're ready to do, because you may say in your head, yes, I want to scale my business and I want to be able to work less hours, but you have to really be ready to do it. Are you ready to put in the work? Are you ready to put in the hours? Are you ready to have the mind change, right? Because what you're doing now isn't working. So if what you were doing now was working, you wouldn't be looking to scale and grow. You're likely stuck. So you have to be ready for your mind to change also, so that you could develop new habits and new patterns and put in a new business model that will actually help you get there. All of that is in the link below. I hope hearing a little bit about my story helped. Again, I don't like to flex. I'm not a flexer, but I am a person who likes to give information and likes to give material, because I think when I hear other people's story, I always fascinated about other people's stories. So if you book a call with me, the first thing I'm going to say is, tell me about yourself. Tell me how you got started. I want to hear. And if you actually have been considering starting a cleaning business, I have a course that's available also for purchase. You can also access it through this link. and you would go on the top right corner where the 3 lines are, click down if you're doing this from a mobile device, and it'll say enroll. If you click on the enroll button, it'll take you to the course for purchase. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Click the links below. You know what you need to do. Until then, see you next time.